Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of February the 16th, 2024. What would Alita's life with Figure 4 be like? Where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek from Denver, Colorado. And with us, we have Lee, and he is from Fountain, Colorado. How's it going, Lee?
Oh, so far so good.
Cool. And from France, we have Matu. How's it going, Matu?
Bonsoir, it's going well. And you, how are you going?
Oh, really good. And from Switzerland, we have the one and only Finn. Grüß Gott, Finn, wie geht es dir heute?
Hello, thank you. I'm very fine. Hope you too.
Yes, yes, indeed. So anyway, good to have you on, Finn.
It's my first time, yes.
No, I think you came on one time before. I think you didn't stay on very long, but I think you came on about a year or so ago, or a year and a half ago, something like that. So,
Yeah,
but
was very long.
Yeah. So anyway, well, it's good to have you on, man. Really good. So, so anyway, folks, I guess we got, well, now we got more people in the chat than we have on the stream. So that's good. So anyway, before we really get started, I just want to kind of remind everybody that we got the sequel petition. And I think we've added like 9 or 10 signatures over the past week. So that's a good thing. We want to make sure Disney knows that we want that sequel. Damn it. That's what we want. Not necessarily the damn it on the end, but anyway, we definitely want the sequel. So anybody on the stream here in the chat or whatever, well, I'm sure all of us have signed it already, but you future people that are watching this, if you haven't signed the petition, there'll be a link down in the description below the screen here, so you could kind of click on that and go sign it. We also have the Hero Arm campaign going on, and it's kind of stalled over the past week, but that's all right. We've raised on this particular campaign a little over $2,700. We got roughly $44,100 and $4,150, I think, something like that in the bank. So anyway, we're moving along. It's not totally dead, as they would say. But there you see the link there to the GoFundMe site, and you can click on that and donate. If you find that a little intimidating, like some folks might, then there's a tip jar also down there. You can click on that. No amount's too small, but if you can't donate, then if you see this on a tweet or a post in social media, just repost it, and you will have done your part. So anyway, anything anybody wants to add? Cool. Well, let's talk about Figure 4 and Alita. Now, we've had a couple of streams about, Alita's love interest. We've had that, but we haven't really dived into it deeply in terms of Figure 4. We kind of know about Hugo because certainly he's in the movie and he's also in the manga. But Figure 4 is also, in my opinion, probably more of a love interest than Hugo was, because she's older when she meets Figure 4. She's like 30 years old, when she meets Figure 4, or something like maybe mid-20s at the earliest, but probably late 20s or maybe 30 when she meets him. And of course, we've kind of gone over some of this already, but despite being a cyborg with superhuman abilities, she's still a very, very human, kind of person. She's definitely got all of the, the feelings that a human has and that kind of stuff. In other words, she's not a robot, at least when she's in her tuned body, which is what she would be in when she met Figure 4. She was in her tuned body. She is intelligent. I wouldn't call her a genius, except at fighting. She's a genius at that. But I think some of the terms we've used in the past is that she has some really good intuition, and she can, kind of feel people out. She knows, she just has that ability to kind of, interact with people and that kind of thing. So she's very compassionate and loving, and she's pretty easy to kind of get along with. So I can imagine living with her if anybody wanted to live with the Creek's niece, in that regard. Then I guess I would be okay with it as long as you were good to her. Of course, it wouldn't matter, because if you weren't, she would probably beat you up real good.
Yeah, I think she'd beat you to solving any problems that she might happen to have with somebody.
Yeah, that's right. But she's probably pretty easy to live with, but she does have her moments. She can go sideways on you in a heartbeat, if something goes awry or something like this. She can be also impulsive. Now, I wouldn't say impulsive to a fault, because she does have the ability to kind of size up situations and stuff like that. But as we saw in the movie, even when she fought Makaku, she went after those, Gerwishka in that case in the movie, went after him with little or no concern for herself. But it wasn't like she was just being impulsive. She kind of was, but, she was more concerned about, if I don't stop him here, he's going to come after my friends and family, or my loved ones, So that's kind of what her thought was on that one. And of course, we do know that Alita has those two traits at the bottom down there that really is near and dear to all of our hearts. She can persevere and survive, and she's a very goal-oriented or objective-oriented person. And when she sets her mind to something, it is going to happen. She's not going to, kind of get into it, see it's a little difficult, and say, I don't want to do this, it's too hard, and then drop out. Now, if Angelus was here, which I was hoping he would be, we would also talk about how cute she is, because she is definitely cute, So the Creek's niece, I guess she takes after the Creek, I guess, in that regard. Although we don't have any kind of, she's not one of my descendants or anything like that, I don't think. So anyway, any thoughts, you guys, about Alita? Matt, too.
Seems like you got pretty well covered.
Yeah, it seems so. But this is from the Creek's perspective right here. Matu, do you have anything from a woman's perspective about Alita that I might have missed here?
I'm not sure about it. I think that you did not really miss anything. She's a strong woman, yet
Yes.
she's still, cute and beautiful. And even though she's extremely strong and has a lot of willpower and independence and everything, she still had this kind of vulnerability to her that
Yes.
maybe we will go into further detail after that, but maybe this is why with Hugo, for example, she was the protecting one. With Figure, she is even though she's strong and stronger than him, he has this kind of protective aura to him, and it completes her vulnerable side, and she gets to be the kind of protected one in a way, even if she's stronger than him.
Yes. Well, she does kind of meet him on his level, doesn't she, in a lot of ways? And we had just joining us from Poland, Channel does not exist. Hello, Channel. How are you doing?
Hello.
So anyway, yeah. So Channel, anything, now you just joined, but you can see on the screen there, anything that the Creek might have missed, because certainly this is from a male's point of view. So
is it like the points in Alita in context of a relationship? Because I've only seen that title.
No, just her as a person. Just her as a person in general, as a woman,
Like in the first manga, because Alita in the first manga and Alita in Last Order, there's a kind of a big difference.
Yeah, well, this was going to be Alita in the original series, and it's going to end up being in the Badlands arc, of course.
I'd add that she has some very goofy moments.
Okay.
Like her reaction, like multiple shots of her just sticking her tongue out when she doesn't like what she's hearing. Also, the scene of her carrying the bike, or just her being cute but creepy around Hugo anyway. Just I'd add the fact that this is probably because of the genre.
Okay.
We don't get to see that in the movie as much.
Okay. Well, let me ask you guys this, because this would speak to the fourth bullet, I guess. Do you think Alita's got a temper?
Yes.
Oh, she can, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
What do you think, Finn? Does she have a temper?
I don't know. Temp.
Yeah. Does she get mad easy? I guess is
I would say it depends on the situation. Seems to be quite a few in which she doesn't seem to anger very easily, and yet there's others, such as somebody she cares about being threatened, which she can fly off the handle real quick.
Yeah.
Like when she saw what happened to Ito when she went to find him, and after he had encountered Destinova in the manga.
And he was in a box, and that just enraged her.
She went into a rage real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those moments she goes sideways on you. Of course, she had good reason to do it there, I think.
Yep.
But a little apologize for my English is not really good.
That's all right.
No, it's okay.
It looks good. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I think we got... Oh, go ahead, Finn.
I give my best, and I hope everyone understands me a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, your English sounds fine. It's just a very strong accent, but we can understand what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. And if you have trouble, Finn, just say something in German. I'll see if I can translate it. My German's not fluent, but I kind of know it fairly well, I think. So if
your German is good.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. So years ago, I used to speak fluent German, but I can't do it now, because I don't have anybody to talk to, actually. So anyway, well, we got Alita down pretty well, I think. I think we all know she's a good person. Here, she's not an android like she is in Last Order. She's a cyborg. She's got a human brain. And oh, yeah, Angelus, what's in the box? Yeah, well, I know who's not in the box, Angelus, you. No, it's okay, though. Ito was in the box, if you remember from the manga. He was, he encountered Destinova, and it seems like people that encounter Nova is they get put in boxes, don't they? And there's Angelus. Good day,
well,
Mike.
I think Angelus was quoting
what's in the box?
From 7.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Angelus.
What's in the box?
Yes. So how's everything down there in Brisbane and Queensland, Australia there, Angelus?
It'd be a lot better if I knew what was in the box.
Yes.
Nice to hear you.
Nah. It's going all right.
Yeah. Cool.
Been pretty good here.
Well, I'm glad you got in here, Angelus, because you see the last bullet there. I have to mention Uwu because I know you're coming on.
I wanted to time it until that came up. So.
Yeah, our girl's got that Uwu, doesn't she? She's really cute. So anyway,
and the easy to get along with part, I'm not entirely sure. She might be easy to get along with if she really likes you, but for the average person, she's not the type of she's definitely not the type who would be standing with a free hug sign, and she's not the type that you just immediately become friends, that any average person just immediately becomes really good friends with on a meet cute.
Yeah, that's right. It wouldn't be somebody. She wouldn't be an outgoing person like at a meetup, would she? She would be kind of probably reserved to a degree, and
it's not like It's not like
Yeah.
she stays cooped up because she does like to fight. We did see her a lot at the bar, singing at the bar. So not that she minds being around people. She
Yeah.
just minds being intimate with people.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm not
right.
just talking about physical intimacy. I'm also talking about emotional intimacy. She's not
Yeah.
the type of person who's gonna spill you her life story after a 10 minutes into a conversation.
Yeah, that's
She's
right.
not the type of person who's probably gonna hold a 10-minute conversation with someone who she hasn't talked with before.
Okay, I agree with that. I don't think she's going to be. I mean, I think she can be outgoing to a degree because she was saying, she was performing in the Kansas bar.
I'm saying she doesn't mind being around people or interacting. She minds being in any way emotionally intimate with them.
Yeah, she kind of doesn't. Not only emotionally intimate with them, but I think even probably get close to them in terms of. How would you say, friendship or something like that? She, to me, she would be a person that would be difficult to get to know, I think, as kind of the impression I get about her as well,
After the motorball arc, yeah, I got the impression she was a little more reserved.
Yeah, go ahead, Channel.
So instead of easy to get along, but has her moments, it'd rather be the opposite. So she has her moments, but overall is a very emotionally closed off person.
Yeah, especially after after Hugo dies, for sure. Although we're going to see that change here today. So, but I agree with you. I think she'd be a difficult person to get to know. But I think once you get to know her, as a friend, then she will go to bat for you. She will be. I mean, she'll do whatever she could do for you. I mean, that's the kind of person she would strike. If she was real, that'd be the kind of person, I guess, that she would be,
I agree. So that part I absolutely have to agree with. She might even just look out for you, even if you don't know each other that well yet.
Yeah.
I mean, she turned back to get Figure and Yolg, and they didn't know each other back then. So just okay, some mercenary dude who thinks my singing is good, my harmonica playing is good.
Yes, that's right. Sorry about my furnace going off. So anyway, you could probably hear that in the background. So okay, well, I think we got Alita kind of nailed down pretty good, I guess. And Angelus, did you have any thoughts there? Because you kind of came on late.
No.
Yeah, yes, of course.
It's your best part, uwu.
That's right. Uwu is.
C'est ton meilleur uwu, ça?
Well, uwu's not the only thing. Yeah, that's uwu's not the only thing she has, but yeah, she is.
If she wasn't so cute, she would be a horror character.
Well, that's true because a lot of her enemies kind of they see that uwu and they kind of mistake that as a sign of weakness, and they do that at their own peril because she can definitely take care of you if you're not you're doing something you shouldn't be, or you're threatening her family or something like that. That she'd be the worst person to get on the wrong side of in that regard. So
it might kick me off.
Oh, go ahead.
If I get kicked off stream, that's because I'm trying to see if my computer can survive both running Krita, that's my usual art program, and being on the stream as a test for when I'm supposed to draw, when I will be drawing on the stream.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to firm that up too, Channel, because we'd love to have you come on and draw.
I first have to see if my computer can survive that.
Yeah, I would like to have you and Matt too. You may be on separate streams, or if y'all want to do the same stream, it's okay. I don't care either way, but get both of y'all to do a drawing on the stream, kind of like Cran did last year. That was a lot of fun, that stream. Okay, so anyway, now let's talk about Figure 4. This is the Creek's favorite character in terms of who Alita would be involved with.
Figure 4 is a little better as Hugo.
Yes, I think so too. I think he's much better for her, and we're going to get to that in just a little bit. But certainly he's physically strong. I guess that's one reason the Creek likes him, because that boy's got some guns on him. Look at that. He's got some big arms on him, you know.
Oh, I see why Creaky likes him now.
Yeah, that's right. So
Yeah, he's more a fighter. Hugo,
Yes.
not really a fighter.
no, he's not. He wasn't a fighter, you know. Resourceful. Well, let me rephrase. Let me go back to Hugo just for a second, but I don't want to stay on him because we want to talk about figure 4. Hugo did have the ability to, I guess, protect himself or whatever. Now you remember at one point he threw that fire bottle at Gerwishka, and another point he did that to Zapan as well, set him on fire, you know. So he's not afraid to do that, but as terms of a fighter, he's not like Alita or figure 4. He's not he's not going to be able to defend himself in that way, you know. So anyway, back to this. Certainly figure 4 is he has the ability to survive. So he's a very resourceful individual, and definitely he's a country boy. Now I know Den in the past, or Ox King rather, and I have had discussions in the past of what he was. Den tends to think that he's like Polynesian descent. I tend to think he's American Indian descent, you know, and because he does live in California, and he lives in Alhambra. We'll see that in a little while. But he's a person who, in this regard, he is like Hugo. He's a hard worker, you know. I mean, he doesn't shy away from physical tasks or anything like that. And he's really good in terms of being able to kill cyborgs. So he is a super duper good fighter. You know, as a matter of fact, he becomes a cyborg at one point because I think AR6 or Zex takes off one of his arms, so he gets a new arm, but it's a cyber arm.
That-
And he's a warrior as well. You know, so he's fought. You know, I guess in with against the Barjack or with the Barjack. I'm not sure which. I can't remember now.
I think it was against the Barjack.
Yeah.
I thought he was uninvolved in the. He was a mercenary guarding the train, but he wasn't directly involved with the Barjack at any point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got dragged into
He
the
was fighting
conflict.
against
with
them.
the-
Alita left him at the village and went to face the Barjack herself.
Yeah. So you can see here that old figure 4, and this is why I like him as a character in terms of having
Wait, no, sorry, I was being stupid. I forgot he did rescue Alita from the Barjack, so
yes. Yes.
He did fight.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. He had a brief run-in with him when he was trying to rescue her.
Yeah, that's right. So he can meet Alita on it more or less as an equal. Not when I say equal, I don't mean equal physically, because we're going to see in a little while how that did not work out for him. So, but anyway, but he is a guy that Alita. He kind of. I guess he got Alita back in touch with her humanity, you know, because she was in a pretty dark place, you know, after Hugo died and went through the motorball arc and then finally after she, you know, got into the Badlands arc, you know, became a tuned agent and all that stuff. She was in a really dark place, you know, and he kind of brings her out of it, you know, to a degree, you know. So he's someone who can kind of meet her on not only on her terms, but get her to meet him on his terms as well. So it's more of a 50-50 thing. Now, in terms of him himself, certainly, you know, you can see this guy. He's really muscular. He's big. I think he's at least 6'2", 6'3", something like that. Really big guy, you know, really good fighter, warrior. And I think at one point he told Alita that he liked fighting more than eating sometimes, which is hard to believe since he's so big, you know. But anyway, but he kind of, you know, he seems to be more physically in tune with Alita in that regard. Now, he's not the brightest bulb in the bunch. I mean, this guy, I mean, he can be kind of goofy, you know, himself, and he's he's not.
Well, I think he's a
wouldn't-
good-natured individual.
Yes, he is that. He's a very good-natured individual, and he has good intentions. I think he's just he's a good person, really. You know. Now that said, you know, when to contrast this with Hugo, when Alita met Hugo, it was kind of like a, you know, infatuation type thing. You know, I mean, Alita kind of falls for Hugo immediately and kind of like a teenage, you know, type thing. You cute
Yeah, like the
boy
young
and-
love sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas with Figure 4, it didn't happen that way. As a matter of fact, they were very contentious, you know, when they first met each other.
It developed
And
a little more slowly.
Yeah, that's right. So, and here's an example of that right here. You know, and there was a couple other cases where I think he had her hanging by a rope, you know, from a building. You know, she was tied up, and he was making fun of her and stuff like
I'm
that.
pretty sure this is the same situation. Like this happens while
Yeah.
she's hanging.
Yeah. So
So
anyway,
somebody in the chat would like to join us.
oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, that's right. I'm running my mouth, and I forgot to put the link in there. So let me put the link out there. And okay, Cubage, there it is. There's the link. You can click on that and come on the stream with us.
The one with the Alita shirt.
Yes.
I mean, then again, half of us here have one as
Yep.
well.
Well, yeah, but I've seen him on Instagram, and he's got a pretty cool Alita shirt. So, yeah. So go ahead and click on that link. I'll bring you in as soon as you do. So, but anyway, you can see here. Here's a case where Figure 4 is he's kind of teasing her, I guess, or kind of, just.
Yeah, he's screwing with her.
Yeah,
And
he
she
is.
don't
So,
take kindly to that.
no, she does
Especially when it's
not.
involving food.
But he's gonna remember he was gonna give her a bite of something or other. I don't know what it was, and then just as she chomped down, he took it away from her and ate it himself. And he's going, "That's yummy," you know. And you could see immediately she just kicks the crap out of him. It's really funny, you know. So you can see there that they start out a lot different, you know, than Hugo and Alita started out. You know, Hugo and Alita, it was just like love at first sight. There's Chaos Nova from Mentor, Ohio.
Hello, Chaos.
How's it going, Chaos?
It's all right.
Cool. How are things in Mentor?
Well, I've been doing other things for the past couple of weekends. Went out with my parents took me to eat Japanese food in Pennsylvania, so it was fun.
Wow, how far away is that for you? Because you're not too far from Cleveland, aren't you?
Yeah, not too far. It's hours away, but it works.
What the heck? Yeah, okay.
They're not in Philadelphia. They're like Central State College.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, you can see there on the screen that Alita just, does one of her double. I don't know if it's a front kick or what would that be, Angelus? I'm not sure. Anyway,
kicks.
she's got both feet on his jaw right there. It's kind of funny, really.
It looks funny.
Yeah. So anyway, it's like Lee says, she don't take kindly to being screwed with like that.
But Figure 4 is not really happy.
No, he's not, and he's not the brightest bulb in the bunch, as I was saying. He's kind of he shouldn't have done that, actually.
A hothead. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
So,
why it reminds me of Jason Scott Lee.
Jason,
Jason Scott Lee plays some pretty reckless characters. If you ever watched Soldier.
Yes. I loved him in Soldier, man. He was really good in that. He played the military badass in that thing. I like that movie a lot. We did a stream on it a couple of years ago. How Soldier compares to Alita. So anyway, you can see there Alita just kicks the shit out of him, and and she has no regrets doing that either. And then, of course, it kind of devolves in other areas too. So finally, you know, and I'm not going to go into all of this because I don't want to mess up a future manga reading on Radio Chaos.
Well,
you know,
you could
but-
also watch me play the video game too.
yes, you could do that.
I'll play
'Cause
live eventually. I'm just busy.
Yeah, because in the video game, I guess in Martian memory,
You play as Figure 4, Chaos, and Doc Ito, in addition to playing Alita at different times in the game.
Nice.
There's a question for Figure 4. He's a strong man, but I don't know. He's not so fast.
No,
Is that
well,
right?
he's certainly not as fast as Alita because, you know, that fight you see on the right. Well, here's basically what happens on it because he's not fast compared to her. That's for sure. So finally, he said, I've just, you know, basically he says, I've just about had it with your attitude, Miss Angel of Death. Come and fight me like a man, you know. And of course, she had. Now, here's what's funny about it. She views this as like a funny thing, you know. She says, you know, for a man who just got his, you know, just survived with his hide intact, basically. So you're pretty feisty, you know. But she says, all right, we'll fight. So she takes off her armor and stuff like that, you know. And you see it dropping on the ground. And of course, he tries to do a palm strike on her, and she's so fast that she not only ducks under it, but she palm strikes him in the nose and bloodies his nose. So finally, what happens there is that you know, his nose is bleeding and all that stuff. Probably his ego's hurt and all that shit. And she says, "Wait, what's wrong?" So see, she's having fun with this, you know. And he said, well, I just got a little careless, you know, and if I get closer, I can execute one of these techniques. What's he call it? The tie attack or teal attack or whatever it was, you know. He says, my techniques are unbeatable when I get that close. So anyway, he kind of goes around her real fast and jumps up in front of her face like that. And he thinks he's got the advantage. So he tries another attack. And of course, she evades it, grabs his wrists, punches him, but then puts both of his arms down in front of him, you know, and all this time his nose is bleeding. So, and the fight goes on, you know. She doesn't want to hurt him physically. I mean, she doesn't want to injure him, you know, but you could just see, looking at the look on her face, you know,
I was about to say, she has no problem hurting him. She just doesn't want to permanently damage him.
Yeah, she doesn't want to break any bones or anything like that, you know, or damage any organ. She don't mind smacking him, you know. She'll definitely do that, you know. But she literally kicks the crap out of him, you know, and he keeps getting up, you know, is the thing. And this is another thing I think that eventually she comes around to him, is because he keeps getting up. And then finally, after the fight, you know, has been going on for a while, she says, "What is wrong with you?" Because he's literally getting the crap kicked out of him, and he keeps getting up. You know, he just won't stop. You know, and she says, "There's something seriously wrong with you." Basically, is what her thought is. You know, and she ends up leaving. You know, now he is in no condition to continue fighting her, but he keeps getting up. You know. And then eventually, as you know, she comes back and saves Figure 4 and Yolg, I guess. What is it? Was there Barjack coming after him or something? I can't remember now. But and they hop in that Jeep or whatever it was she was driving, and they drive off. You know. And
I can't remember if it was the train about to explode. I don't think it was that.
No, I don't think.
I think there was some kind of storm or something like that was created by the train exploding that was going to be real dangerous to them, and they had to leave the area. Maybe.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time remembering. It was so long ago I read it.
Yeah, but anyway, she.
Yeah, Cyclone Brewing.
Yeah,
which
that's
I think was brought on by the mushroom cloud from the train.
Right, but don't worry, a nuclear steam train will not explode like that. The uranium will melt to the core, and there'll be just a lot of hot steam, and you just don't want to touch the hot lava uranium.
Yeah. Plus, you don't want to be around it because, you know, it's certainly the radioactivity on it will damage.
It will leak
cells.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but you know, she she kind of likes, well, certainly we know our girl likes fighting, you know. I mean, it's just kind of for her, this whole encounter she has with him here in the desert is, for her, is fun. I think she's just laughing about it, and, you know, just kind of, you know, just having her way with him, basically. And he's a big old strong 6'3" guy and little old 4'11" girl, you know, and he doesn't come anywhere near to landing a glove on her. And she's just pummeling him, you know. So anyway, and then of course eventually she says, yeah, what is wrong with you? Why do you keep getting up? You know, kind of thing, you know. So which I found was I really enjoyed these sets of panels here, you know, watching this little old, she's not a little old girl, she's a cyborg. We have to remember that, you know, and just really just has no problem with him whatsoever, you know. So the difference here between Alita and Figure 4 and Alita and Hugo, as we mentioned a while ago, is that, you know, she kind of had this little kind of a crush on Hugo the first time she meets him, you know. Whereas with Figure 4, she's a little older. She's probably late 20s, maybe 30 years old, and she's, you know, certainly she's a tuned agent as well, you know, but she's got a little more maturity behind her and all that kind of stuff. So she's not going to be as quick, you know, to I guess get infatuated with somebody as maybe she would have been when she was 14, you know. So she's probably 14, maybe 16 years older here than she was when she met Hugo, you know.
14 going on 400.
Yeah, something like that. Of course, we all
about that because I'm not so sure about that much time. I'm just saying that because Chaos is about the same age as Hugo is. Or
yeah, well, yeah. Well, there's a 10-year.
Chaos is 26.
Yeah.
We know that assuming that Alita is the same age as if time froze for her, she was 17 at the time Yoko died, so to speak, and
yes,
Ido died. Ido was went to retrieve the body from Nova on Alita's third birthday / anniversary of being rebuilt by Ido, and then soon after Alita and Figure split, she meets with Collins and gets the signal from Nova. We don't know how soon, but relatively soon, because both Nova says he hasn't seen her in 11 years, and Vector, when he sees Alita in the street, also mentions that she disappeared 11 years ago, meaning that we have we don't know how long there was a time skip. How soon did she meet Hugo? But the 11 years plus there's 14 years. Okay, I'm not sure I did all that math when we can just use Koyomi's age.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well,
yeah.
here's the thing. Chaos is 26 when you first see him. So it's about 10 years.
Yeah.
That's how old Chaos is. So his age is around about the same as what Hugo's is. Same about this. Well, actually wrong. Hugo's 1 year before him, so a little different.
Well, I think the bad man said that he thinks that Alita is about 12 to 13 years older than when she met Hugo. That would put her, if she was like 14, that'd make her 26, 27, you know, perhaps, or late 20s, you know. So, yeah.
Because
so
for her to be 14, she'd have to be 14 as 14-year-old terrorist as Yoko, and Yoko was young, but she wasn't 14.
Yeah, she was 17, actually, wasn't she? That's right, Channel. I mean, Ido tried to make her 14, but she definitely wasn't 14. She was 17 years old. That's exactly right. So that would put her about maybe late 20s, even 30, even, you know. So she's a mature woman at this point. You know, she's not a kid, you know, and certainly Figure 4 is not a kid either. He's an adult male, you know, and quite a big one too at that, you know, for that one. So, yes, 10 years, 8 months. Yeah, that sounds about right, Bad Man. It says Alita was 16 when Ido found her. I don't know, because, well, it depends on what version, I guess, of the story, because I think in that one backstory that's on YouTube, She was
That's for the
17
movie.
years. Yeah, for the movie. That's right, for the movie.
The movie kind of changed some things. So
Well, but you know, I you know, she was probably 17. I don't know about 16. Maybe she was. You know, I mean, we don't really know for sure because, you know, Ito finds her in the scrapyard. I mean, she's been asleep in the scrapyard for 300 years, so you know, it's hard to tell.
It says her age at the time she was drafted, not at the time she was on the terrorist attack. So it would make sense. She's drafted at 16. There's some training happens, and then at 17, there's when she's 17, she attacking Earth. It's you're not gonna just grab someone who's just reached the minimum age for being drafted, put them in a body they have zero idea how to control, and dump them on a different planet to fight. You could, but they're definitely not gonna get you anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, but I agree. I think she's probably at the earliest, she's in her late 20s, and I think she's probably 30. So, you know. How old is Figure 4 here? I'm not sure I know how old he is.
21 when you first meet him.
21 years old. So she's older than he is.
23 in Last Order.
Yeah. So well, of course, she's older than him. If you go chronologically, she's over 300 years old. But I mean, mentally, you know, she's say 8-9 years older than he is in this fight right here. You know, so
all of Alita's.
Go ahead.
All of Alita's love interests are younger than her. Even this counting Alita, not counting the 200 years Alita has of technically being in a coma, because like Figure is 21. Lou, I'm pretty sure, was also, if you ship them, which I do, I'm pretty sure was also in 21 or something. Yugo, Alita was 17, maybe, or 18 at the time, and Yugo was 15. And Chaos, he's the closest to her age, but if he's 26, 27, and she's in her early 30s, then she's still a bit older than him.
Yeah, she's older than he is.
Love interests are younger than her.
Yes. Well, she's actually, I remember reading a thing in the Last Order where she was sitting on the edge there up in Zalem looking out over the view, and she said, you know, I once knew a boy that would have, you know, really wanted to see this view or something like that. And she recounted the fact that it had been 14 years since Ito found her, you know, so that would suggest she would have been in her early 30s, maybe even as old as 35, not knowing how old she is when they get found, you know. But if she was 17, she would probably be 31 or 32, you know, when she was sitting on the edge there looking over Iron City and looking over the, you know, up from Zalem, you know. So anyway, we kind of got off track there a little bit. But yeah, you can see that the relationship between Alita and Figure 4 actually started out kind of, you know, rocky. It was kind of contentious. I wouldn't say rocky. I don't think she hated him or anything like that. I think she liked him actually at this point. And to me, it looks like he's just pissed off because, you know, she kind of, you know, kind of made him look bad, you know. And I mean, when he did this number right here on the right, you know, she kind of made him look bad, and that hurt his ego. So he said, okay, you're going to fight me. And she said, okay, we'll fight, you know. And then, of course, that didn't go anywhere for him, you know. Now, eventually, of course, is there a question?
No.
Oh, okay. So anyway, eventually, of course, their feelings for each other change quite a bit, you know, and she runs into him again later, and he's got her harmonica. You know, remember, she was on that train, you know, she was playing that harmonica, and when Figure 4 met her, you know, and said, you know, I'm Figure 4, who are you? And she said, Alita, you know, and she said, finally, she puts her finger in his forehead and said, don't get too close to me. People that do end up dying. So anyway, but that didn't deter him one bit, you know, so, which is probably another reason she likes him, you know. So anyway, she runs into him again and then, you know, thumps him on the head, you know, like, you know, you're alive, you know, kind of thing. Hey, you jerk, you're alive. But she's really happy to see him, you know, but she bangs him on the head, you know, which you could see a warrior type person doing, you know. what is this right here? I guess Batman comment on what Hugo would thought if he knew what Zala was like. Yeah, that's exactly right. That goes back to what we were talking about when she was looking out over the, I guess, over the view from look from the from Zalem itself. So yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. There was the manga didn't say this. I think Bigot Eisenberg actually caused this, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what I'm remembering too. He did something
Yeah.
to cause some kind of effect to occur that dumped a bunch of food on him.
Yeah, fish and
It was
stuff
the
like
other
that.
guy, not Bigot, because there's a scene with Bigot and Eisenberg and the other dude, and one of them asks, "Do you believe in miracles?" Yes, and then Eisenberg walks out looking unsatisfied. I'm pretty sure it was the other one who caused it, because he answers that he does believe in miracles.
Okay.
And
Well,
also,
somehow it occurred. Yeah.
Also, he was the more sympathetic. Okay, it's the bar is the bar for being more sympathetic than Ainsberg is so low. Hell considers it a tripping hazard. But he was the one who is at least a little sympathetic, unlike Eisenberg. And when he later disappears, Eisenberg does straight up say that he only was brought on in because he's somewhat sympathetic, so to not make the entire Zalem side of the team hateable.
Yeah. Now, last place Dave here says that Ito finds Alita an ES577, which if you add 1957 to that, you'll get the Gregorian calendar, I guess, or whatever. And she becomes tuned in ES580. And then the Zod is held in ES581. But there's a 10-year gap in there somewhere, last place Dave. I'm not sure where that would fit in here, because I do remember her saying, and when she's up in Zalem, that it had been 14 years since Ito had found her. And if that was the case, for instance, 14 years, that'd have been ES591 or something, which was, she was thinking that before the Zot. So, yeah.
15 years, actually.
Well, I do remember her saying it's 14, but yeah.
She says it's 14 years because she hasn't checked the calendar yet.
That's right. So, but anyway, but you can see here once again, they meet each other and he says, here, here's your harmonica. It's a little bit scratched up, but here, and she says, you can keep it, so she's already got feelings for him, at this point. So they're going to kiss each other, and that's pretty cool. But on the right there, you see where Bigot's already got that water spout to pull all those fish down on top of them. Now, what happened on that one is, I guess, I don't remember how Alita got into this scrape. I don't know if it was some other cyborgs or what it was, but she actually lost both of her feet, didn't she?
That was the run with the bar jack. They blew off her feet so she couldn't, because that's the only way they could capture her.
Yeah, she couldn't walk. So anyway, figure 4 happens on the scene, of course, and he takes out one of them. I can't remember the whole situation, but anyway, what happens here is that he picks her up and they start, and he's carrying her on her back. Now, there's been some speculation to how much she weighs, because she is a cyborg. I've heard anywhere from 200 to 300 pounds, and that kind of speaks to how strong figure 4 is, being able to carry her on his back like that, And she says, no, just leave me here. I don't want to cause your death and all that stuff. And he says, there is no way I'm going to leave the woman I love out in the desert to die, So anyway, and that kind of cements it for him, I guess. And then Bigot sends all these fish and water on top of him and stuff like that. And so you could see they were kind of happy about that. And, it's raining, which I guess when you think about it, that was probably unusual for where they were in the Badlands, I guess. I guess it was, I guess it was mostly drought conditions most of the time. I don't know. What do you guys think that have read the manga? What was that? Does that seem right to you?
There's a couple of different times in the manga where it rains. When Hugo's about to die, there's the other time that you see right here. There's the time where when you beat Chaos, it rains, and during Last Order, it rains the night before. You know, the night before Chaos gets in the fight with Vector. So those are the big moments where it rains. The rain in Gundam seems to indicate there's going to be something better when the rain's going to stop.
Yeah. That seems so. Yeah, it sure does. But you
Seems
see,
to
they're
rain.
both happy. It's raining and all that, and the fish hits Alita on top of the head. And you know what in the world? You know, it's fish. You know, that stuff fish out in the desert. You know what I mean?
And fish slaps Alita. Oh.
Yes. Well, that's okay. It came down from the sky, I guess. You know, from when Bigot, you know, had that water spout that dump all that water and fish on them. You know, so now they got something to eat and they got all this water. So you know they're good. You know, so. But you see the panels on the right now. They're really. Remember, we talked about how Alita was not very intimate. Didn't like intimacy with people so much. Well, she's gotten over that now. So you see her and Figure, they're about to get very intimate, actually. And so she's telling him, you know, to me, I can picture him being a little bit. I don't know how good Figure 4 is with women, because you don't really know that from the manga. But it looks like Alita is kind of saying, hey, it's okay. You know, I mean, what we're doing is okay. So strikes me that he's not that experienced, you know, and she kind of is, you know. So anyway, they get getting real intimate. And of course, a raindrop hits Figure 4 on the forehead just because it's still raining, you know. So, so they're well into their relationship in terms of being partners, you know. So any thoughts about that, you guys?
Not really.
Lee, what you got any thoughts about that?
I can't say I do. None that comes to mind anyway.
So this is another thing that really shows that Alita is still a very human person, isn't she? I mean, even though she kind of, after Hugo died, she kind of shut people out and didn't want to get intimate with anybody. Now she's getting really intimate, you know, with Figure 4, you know, so which is the Creek is okay with that he's okay with his niece getting involved with Figure 4 like this.
She's an adult. She no longer needs a parental permission anyway.
That's right. Well, she's 30 years old, so she doesn't need that permission. So you know.
But why raining fish?
Well, because Bicket Eisenberg, they were in the desert, and Alita can't walk because she don't have any feet, you know, because she had that encounter with the barjack, and Figure 4 rescues her, is carrying her across the desert, and of course there's no water anywhere and that kind of stuff. So Bigot Eisenberg, I guess they have some kind of weather modification kind of technology of sorts.
They were using some kind of radiation on the air.
Yeah, that's right. So they kind of got water from maybe, who knows, the ocean or wherever they were, and he just kind of sent it over to where they were in the desert and just dumped all that water and fish on them, you know. So
Okay.
yeah. So you can see Alita is really getting into old Figure 4 now, that's for sure. So, you know, that's cool. And then, of course, we see this. That's just the panel on the left is just, you know, where they're, you know, once again, they're just hugging each other, you know, kind of thing. There was also another story, I guess, one of those side stories that was in I guess what was that Tree of Life thing, or was it Flower of Life, or whatever that thing was? I can't remember now.
The Tree of Life, yeah.
Yeah, Tree of Life, where Figure 4 finds her there, and her DNA is kind of locked up in this.
It's not the real one he's giving a hug to right there. That's kind
is that AR?
sad.
Is that AR?
That's AR5, and Zex blows her head off. It's not her. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
He needs to get needs to get a better feel to know that it's a real one and not a fake.
Yeah. Well, there was 12 of them, so he the first thing he thinks when he sees her, I guess, is this is Alita, you know. And I think
Like,
No, she
That-
even tells him it's not her. Everyone's a little creepy in Battle Angel Alita. I'm just gonna warn you about that.
well, yeah.
She's just like no, it's not. I'm not her.
my
that's
question
true.
He
is,
says it's not. She's not what he's.
Well, that's
looking
true,
for.
but my point here is that his feelings for her, even though he knows that's not Alita, he has feelings for Alita, you know.
No. The joke is that he doesn't listen and he just hugs her anyways.
close enough. My question is, if AR4 wasn't murderized and he wasn't directly told that is your Alita, how long would it take him to figure out that's not his Alita?
Let's just say everyone in this manga is a little creepy. I'm telling
Well, not only that, he's probably, like I said before, he's not the brightest bulb in the bunch.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. How long would it take him to figure out that's not his Alita?
Who knows?
We're betting a week?
Maybe.
Well, he just wasn't listening to her. She was like trying to let him know, like, I'm not the real thing. That's the funny part about it.
Anyway, that is what it is. Now, on the right, those panels over there, this is where I guess, I don't know how long that period was, but they kind of lived together for a little while, I guess. I don't know how long that was. I don't know if it was days or if it was months or what it was. But anyway, you know, she's got to go do her thing, I guess, as a tuned agent. I guess she's looking for Nova still. And then he tells her, you know, she basically has told him, well, I got to go do my day job, if you want to think of it as that. And he says, well, you go ahead and you go ahead and do your day job. Come back here when you're done. I'll be right here, you know. And she says, I promise I'll come back, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And then she finally says, don't cheat on me. So anyway, you can see that they're kind of, you know, they got a thing going now at this point. You know, I think much more than when her and Hugo were, you know, during the Hugo arc. You know, I think they got a lot more going for them here than they did.
Obviously, they're adults now and not
Yes.
dumb children doing dumb things.
Yeah, they're adults. So whereas, well, Hugo was how old was Hugo, you think? Was he
15, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, in the manga he was 15. In the movie, it looked like he's more like 20.
18?
18, okay.
Probably
The movie
18 or
is
19,
definitely
yeah.
older.
Yeah. So anyway, but here they're definitely adults, you know, so that it's cool at this point, you know. So what's this? To your point, Chaos, it says AR4 was just happy to have some backup, so maybe that's what it was. You can look at the look on her face. It's like, holy crap, what is this? AR4 has bandages on her head. Yeah. Now there was one.
Number 4.
Yeah. Now there was one AR that he found that Zex had killed, and
That's the AR he's hugging right now.
oh,
Yeah,
is that
Zex kills her in front of him.
And he's still, I'm pretty sure he just doesn't know why one weird version of something that kind of looks like Alita is chasing another version of Alita that's insisting it's not Alita, but that's still huggable enough to maybe be Alita and that he still wants to protect. And then there's some other Alita, and then there's some dude-ish version of Alita.
Yeah.
Because it's pre-transition sex.
Maybe. Well, maybe a figure 4 is hugging her as no, he thinks, well, maybe this is Alita's sister, you know. I don't think so. That'd be pretty creepy, I think, too, actually. Okay, last place Dave says Alita was 30 when she met figure 4. Still too young for him, he says. Oh, well, too bad. Yeah. Well, I don't know. 30 years old, you're an adult. You pretty much can do what you want, I think. You know, so anyway. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Bad Man. That's right out of the story. Yeah, AR6 is a female in to start out with, and then becomes a male later, I think.
That's why I said pre-transition.
Yes. A trans cyborg. There you have it.
Android.
Yeah, android. That's right.
That has an android.
That's right. They are not cyborgs. Those ARs.
Yeah, they all
are
have brain chips.
They all have brain chips. That's exactly right. You know. So now we come to the point to where, you know, now at the end of the last order, you know, Alita's already been through the Zot and all this stuff, and there's a couple of really poignant panels in there to where she's got to go off to Venus or wherever it is she's going to go to, you know, and takes off there. And of course, I don't remember how her DNA gets in that bioprinter, if she put it in there.
DNA from brain.
Yeah.
Extracted.
Yeah, that's right. And but I don't know who did it. If she did it or did Nova do it, I'm not sure how.
She pulled some strings to get it done.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Vladi, yeah, we did start an hour ago. Do you want to come on? Let me give you the link if you want to come on.
Oh, here we go. Getting ready for the anti-Disney rants.
And my computer's kind of crashing.
It's all right. We love Vladi.
Lottie! Ah,
We do.
hello,
we do.
Lottie.
So anyway, but to get back to the topic at hand here, you know, Figure 4 discovers the bioprinted Alita. Now she has, I'm not sure what kind of memories she has. If she has all the memories, I'm not clear on that. But
Are you talking about the bioprinted Alita?
Yeah.
Yeah, her memories end where she was killed by the doll bomb.
That's right. So the baby bomb. That's right. So so she knows nothing of the Zot. She doesn't.
She has none of the other memories that the other Alita is carrying.
Yeah. Now, what this does kind of make you wonder is that, okay, you know, Alita at this point, you know, at the end of Last Order, she's an android. She's not a cyborg anymore. She has a brain chip herself, you know. We've had discussions about that, though, about we think she's still human because she's retained all those traits. But in reality, physically, she's a machine. You know, she is an android. And this Alita is human. You know, I mean, completely human. So Figure 4 now is going to take up, I guess, with this Alita. Now, this Alita would have all the memories up to the baby bomb, but would I can't remember if that was before or after this. I think it was
before.
Before, right?
This is before the baby bomb. The baby bomb is the last canon thing from the first series.
Okay, so she does have these memories of Figure 4 then.
Just ask yourself, is it the first series or Last Order? And if it's the first series, she remembers it. If Last Order, she doesn't.
Yeah. So anyway, but she knows who Figure 4 is here. That's for sure, you know, and it has those feelings for him, you know, so that's good. But now here, my question is, does she have the same sentience? I mean, is this, you see where I'm going with this?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't know, you know.
If it's the Tree of Life, there was that thing with the AI that was controlling everything, calling her consciousness out of the collective. So the original consciousness gets put into the new human body. If it's the
canon, though.
Yeah, if it's the last if it's the Last Order one, which is the canon one, then that's a whole different can of worms.
Yeah, it is. And that's what I was asking. If she has the same consciousness or sentience that she had when she was Imaginos Alita, you know. So anyway, you can see there that Figure 4 and her are now reunited, that kind of thing, or at least this human version of Alita is reunited with Figure 4. And you see Ito down at the bottom and the Deckman's down there. He's kind of wondering, what about the other Alita? You know, so he's thinking about Imaginos Alita right here, you know. So, and figure 4 seems happy that he's found this Alita, you know. Now, there was a really poignant set of panels where Alita is saying that she wished that she could go back with figure and not be, and have the, I guess, have the life with him rather than that other girl, is what I think the way she put it, you know. But she ends up taking off from Venus, I think it was, and you know, and then leaves. You know, she says that only the most important promise is one I cannot keep. You know, and it was really sad. You know, but anyway, she takes off from Venus. Figure 4 now has this human Alita, and Ito is wondering, what about the other Alita? You know. So anyway, that's kind of where we pick up here with this, you know. So now Alita, human Alita and figure 4 now are going to live together, I guess. And, you know, living in Alhambra, California. I don't know if you guys know where that is. It's east of LA. And it's a small town, you know, because I grew up not too far from there, or part of my childhood was not too far from there. And figure 4 is I guess some of the things he did was fishing, you know, is what he did. Maybe did some farming, or they might learn to do some farming.
I think he was mainly a fisherman, though.
Yeah, I think he was. And you wonder, would they go on any more adventures? Now, this Alita right here is not like Imaginos or even Tuned Alita, for that matter. She's a pure human. Now, she does retain memories of how to fight, how to do Panzer Kunst, but she doesn't have the same body, so she's not going to be as effective as a fighter, you know. But she would still know the techniques, obviously, you know. And what would they do? You know, I mean, what would be some of the things they might do for fun, let's say, or if they wanted to, you know, have some more adventures or whatever. And would they have kids? You know, I mean, I think they probably would, you know, and certainly growing old together and that kind of stuff. Now, you can see a figure 4 on the right there. He's kind of grinning from ear to ear. And yeah, if you had that Alita right there, right, Angelus, you would be grinning from ear to ear if you were a guy. So there you have it. So what do you guys think? What's going to happen here? I mean, particularly, I guess, Chaos, you're married, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and I think Lee has got a lifelong girlfriend, or a many years girlfriend, and the Creek has been. We're not going to talk about we're not going to talk about Creek's love life too much. I've been married twice, so we're going to leave it there.
It's all right. It's all right.
So, you know, my thought would be is that, and you guys, you know, pick up, any of y'all can pick up on this. Don't mean to just ask Chaos and Lee, but
No, it's
my thought it would be that they would, you know, they'd kind of get comfortable with each other. They would learn each other a little better. They would probably, certainly, I know I did when I was married, put on a little more weight, you know, that kind of thing, you know. So, what do
I
you
have a
got?
feeling they would probably stay active enough not to do that. I mean, he would still be a fisherman, still be a fighter. She would still be a warrior herself, even if she's not got a cyborg body.
Yeah.
But yeah, even if they settle down to have a family, they're still going to be, you know, all that. It's just going to add more to what they are.
Okay.
What he said, actually.
Okay. What about it, Chaos? You think they're going to have kids? You got kids, don't you?
Yeah, I do. 3 of them.
Yeah.
3 little boys. All right. And there's a cat now. So yeah.
You have birthday today, Creaky?
No, my birthday is tomorrow. We're going to do a watch party.
Okay,
On Radio
yeah.
Chaos.
Oh, okay.
No, I mentioned earlier it was mine that passed by. I went all the way to see my parents a couple hours away, and we went to eat Japanese food in central Pennsylvania.
Whereabouts, near Harrisburg or what? Chaos.
You know, State College, where.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yep. Well, how strong would Alita's civilian body be? Now, I think, Vladi, you're meaning the civilian body she had in the,
Well, he
as a
says civilian
cyborg.
human body. I think he's
Human.
might be asking about
yeah,
the human body.
yeah, I stopped at the civilian. A human body. Uh,
I think
Yes.
he's using both civilian and human in the same sentence, so I'm kind of a little unclear about that myself.
yeah, but if it's just a human body, I think, yeah, to Lee's point, I think they would both still be active, and she would probably be, pretty active for a human. I think she would probably be fairly strong, for a human. I don't see her as being as strong as what she was as a cyborg, certainly, or say as strong as an 8,000-year-old power lifter, anything like that. But I
Seems
do
like he might have been talking about the civilian body.
could
But he
be.
has a higher UVO
Okay,
effect.
so-
Yeah, the civilian body is a cyborg body, so she'd be pretty strong in that. Probably somewhere between the doll body and the motorball body. That'd be my guess,
No, she was certainly stronger than a human, that's for certain.
Yes, because she was doing martial arts classes, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's right. So,
The Berserker body has the strongest body.
the strongest
Oh.
body would be the Imaginos 2.1 body, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be that thing is insanely OP. That thing is. So, and that's what she had when she was when she left, figure 4 here, she took off, and this is where Ito is wondering about the other Alita. The other Alita is in the Maginos 2.1 body, and this is the human Alita on the left. So,
Yes.
yeah. So anyway, what you guys, any more thoughts there? I mean, I think, he'll figure 4. He's definitely hit the jackpot in terms of uwu, hadn't he, Angelus?
Yeah, UVO effect.
But I would think that Alita would be a good partner too, because she would have a lot of the same mental, capacities. She would have the same, say, personality and stuff like that. I think she would be a very, how would you say, a really someone that'd be a good partner to be with. I think she would, share. She would share the load of living together and stuff like that. I think she would be good at that. I think she'd be good as a wife, probably, and I think figure 4, well, once again, he's not the smartest guy around, but I think he would be a pretty good husband, I think, and if they had kids, they would, I think I could see them both being really good parents, and the parents teaching them how to, teaching them martial arts, let's say. I can see that happening as well, so. What else, you guys? Anything else?
No.
I don't know.
Not really now.
Oh, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if they even opened up a martial arts school together.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly that.
Yeah, they could do that.
Actually, I think all of her bodies have the metallic eye black because I saw it in all of her forms. That seems to be attached to her core.
Could be, except
Because
right here she
Her
doesn't
doll
have them,
body
but that's a
didn't.
well,
human.
this is a flesh and blood body, though.
Yeah, that's right.
There is no
Pretty
cyber
sure-
core in that body.
I'm pretty sure her first doll body didn't have that. She only added it in after the Yugo
Possibly.
incident when she did
In the
her
manga, did the motorball body have those eye?
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure the doll body did not.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, the doll body didn't for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Motor-
I don't think the civilian body did either. The civilian.
No, that's the thing.
cyborg
All
body.
of the panels I've seen of her, in all of the bodies, she always had it.
Did she have it in the Imaginos body? Now I don't. That's,
Definitely.
yeah,
At least I remember her having it, but I
Oh.
also remembered her with cat ears, which she apparently never had, so my memory is just faulty.
yeah. Yeah, that's right, bad man. Yeah, that's right as well. Yeah, that's one of the things about, you see some of the action figures or say the Hot Toys Alita, they give you a couple of heads. One of them has those blood under the eyes.
Mhm.
But in the movie, she did not have, in the movie, in her berserker body, she did not have that. Now, when she fought Makaku, she did have the berserker body, I believe. And then when she fought Zapan or Zerkerpan, she had the civilian body. So, yeah. Or did she fight him in the motorball body? I can't remember now.
Yeah, the civilian body has the eye black there.
Yeah. So all of her other bodies, it says, had that eye black under it. Yeah, that's right.
Except for the doll body, maybe. It looks like,
Yeah, the doll.
I guess the doll body and the berserker body didn't.
Yeah, that's right.
But
The
so
berserker
many of the
body did? I
pictures
thought
seem
the
to
berserker
have
body
it.
did.
The berserker body in the manga did. The berserker body in the movie did not. So
The only
Well, in the
ones that
movie, she
didn't
doesn't
are
have the eye black at all.
any of them.
in
Yeah,
in the movie, it didn't. I thought it was manga. Yeah, the
It's
other
not the
didn't.
same in the movie and in the manga. It's
No,
two
it's not.
different,
No,
Yeah, it's
no.
totally different. Yep.
totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That just adds to the confusion.
Yeah. Let me, Chaos. I see you got I want to put this in the public chat.
I must
here.
really read the manga. I know so.
Yeah,
not so
Finn,
many.
you should read the manga, Finn. Read the manga.
It's every
Maybe-
time to say the same.
Maybe you can catch up with Vladi.
I'm floating
Yeah,
too.
Vladi's reading the manga. We're okay with old Vladi. He's reading the manga. Okay. So,
But
guys,
first,
Oh.
the manga and Last Order is the same.
no, the original manga takes you up through the Badlands arc. And I think the end of it is the baby bomb, I think.
Yeah.
And then
Then there's the non-canon ending that's also part of the first series.
And then
okay.
the last order starts with her waking up, she's in the Imaginos 1.0 body. Is that right? Or is she's not in the tuned body in any of the
That's
last
No,
order?
the tuned body got destroyed with the doll bomb.
Yeah.
The last order starts with a split narrative between Alita's memory of basically a teaser for Mars Chronicle of how she met
Mhm.
Erica, and Nova talking with Jim as we see them see them rebuilding Alita's body.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And
Thank
then
you.
the next actual chapter is Alita waking up and finding
Yes.
the Carnage.
Yeah, she kind of wakes up in the Imaginos 1.0 body and says, "Whoa, what is this?" Kind of thing. That's a reaction anyway. She's in another, mechanical body, and at that point she's an android, but she doesn't realize it at that point. She doesn't find out till later on in the last order that she's got a brain chip instead of a brain, so. Okay, what about the last order retcons with the last one of the original series? Yeah, okay.
I'm not even sure if it's the epilogue from part 9. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I know Mars Chronicles volumes 7 and 8 and 9 as kind of a hodgepodge, but I think you get some of adult Alita, at least in the as a mercenary, I guess, because they don't have an military. She's not in the military in the manga. She's a mercenary, I think, or she was in the Mauser school. I know the Panzerkunst, but I mean, I don't think she was in the actual the Martian military didn't exist in the manga from what I can remember, but that's.
But this is the beginning of Mars Chronicles.
No.
Mars
Chronicles, I guess the end of the last order is picked up again, sort of, in I think it's volume 8, or is it 7? I can't remember, where I guess I don't know if it's a replicant or someone looks like Alita comes back and tries to kill Princess Lymira, and they find out,
I'm
and then
pretty sure it's way earlier than volume 7. Like it's
that's 7,
maybe
yeah,
volume 4.
yeah,
Seven's not the one that's really recent.
yeah. Well, there's an 8 and a 9 now. I think there's a 9 that's coming
This
out.
is more
Isn't
like
it?
a kind of
Yeah.
fourth, like, because it's early enough for the fandom to think, for people to start thinking that we're gonna be switching between the story of Mars Chronicle and then the future timeline,
Yeah,
and then get disappointed. So
Yeah.
it had to be somewhere early
yeah.
for people to have time to get this disappointed.
Okay. So anyway, well, okay, just another thought. Lee, what do you think about how good a life do you think Alita and Figure 4 are going to have together, given what we've talked about is going to take place? This is human Alita and Figure 4. What?
Assuming that whole karma thing in the manga has all of the shit following biochip Alita, then they'll probably have a pretty good life.
Yeah.
If it ends up getting split between the two, I think Alita and Figure 4 will have a very interesting life.
Mm-hmm.
As well as their kids, too, if they should have them, and they probably would. I can't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, because they were getting pretty intimate there in the desert, so there's no reason to think they wouldn't get intimate here. You know,
that's pretty normal. So yeah,
that's a normal human thing, I guess. Matu, what do you think?
Honestly, not much compared to you. Like, I think you said it all. I've got nothing to add about it. Like,
Okay.
you already said everything I was already thinking.
Okay. Finn, you got anything? What's your thoughts about Figure 4 and Alita living together?
I think I have many questions to this book. I know so many from Figure 4.
Well, I think if you read the manga and you read
I must read the manga.
yeah. Or as Angelus would call it, the manga. If you read the manga, manga, it doesn't matter. But if you read it up to the point to where Alita leaves him right here to go do her day job, I think is the way she put it, or something like that, you kind of get a pretty good feeling, for, how Alita and Figure 4, how they start to get involved. It starts out very contentious and it ends up very intimate like this, so in a very real way, I think if they were real people, now they're not real people, but if they were real people, I think their relationship would be much stronger than her relationship would have been with Hugo had he lived, because that was kind of a teenage, love at first sight type thing. And you hear stories about people that marry their high school sweethearts and they live together for 50 years or something like that. But that's not the norm. It seems like these two that actually meet each other when they're adults, and they form a bond like this when they're adults, I think is got a better chance of being stronger than, say, the one she would have had with Hugo. Anyway, that's my opinion.
4 is every time a good boy or the good guy.
Yes, and he's got a good heart, I think, as Lee put it. He's a good person, and he would fight to protect Alita, and she would fight to protect him. So, I mean, I think that would have been that'd be a big plus for both of them.
Yes, definitely.
What about it, Chandler? What do you have any thoughts about this?
Most of it's already been said.
Okay. And Jealous, I know you got some thoughts about this because you probably wish you were Figure 4 and you had that on the left over there, right?
I am Figure 4.
You are, yeah, because you got the uwu going for you. Huh?
I'll just go up to Zalm and make another copy.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Bioprint Alita, yes. So anyway, seriously, any thoughts there, Angelus, about this?
No, it's just I don't know. I want to say that it feels like an easy end to a very complicated story.
Yes.
But I mean, you know, like it wouldn't matter how many issues I might have with the manga, because you know I've learned very early on that you know I'll take all the bad points because the good points still outweigh them.
Uh-huh.
Most of those good points being the uwu, but that's beside the point.
Yes.
Best point.
Best
Yeah.
point.
Bad man thinks if they're left alone, then they would probably have a pretty good life. So, yep.
Never trust that someone's going to leave you alone.
That's true.
Yeah, I have a feeling that
Never trust Kishiro to treat his characters well.
That's
Well,
right.
because they
Unless the
because
story's
they,
over, he won't treat them well.
Oh yeah, there's
That
that.
way.
Well, if he forgets about them, these
I mean,
these
the
two
way
would
I
have,
see it is that someone's got to be endangered. And I just fear that Earth is not out of the playing field. Mars is not out of the playing field. Somebody else is going to die.
I see.
I'm pretty sure that
I see Coupage is trying to join us, but he can't connect.
I'm
It's,
pretty sure the Alita story is mostly over. We might get like a little epilogue of her, but for the most part, that she was just given a okay. So here's if you kind of like a nod to definitely not done for them, but it is comfort to them. People who don't like this direction this series went with later on. Okay, here's your Alita, the original. She's getting her happily ever after. We're moving on with those new characters, with the new version of Alita. They are not even the same person anymore, and he's admitting
Yeah.
to that, giving the old Alita, allowing the old Alita to rest. Okay, so here's this new Alita. What's going on with her? I don't think with now there's Yoko, and there's
Yeah.
barely anything going on with the new Alita. I
Yeah.
don't think he'd backtrack all the way to the old Alita, except unless for like a short time.
But there's supporting characters all over the place, and I'm just going to say
Yeah.
it this way: someone that Alita has a connection to is going to be in danger and is going to die. That's how it goes. Most of the people she knows, except for Erica, they're gone.
Yeah. Well, I guess in the case of Ito right here, he kind of made it back. Now he was put in a box by Nova for sure.
And be
But,
repetition to have Ito killed off again for tension. Besides the new Alita barely even has any contact with him, just has zero contact with him, so it'd be a shame that it wouldn't hit as hard anymore.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
Koyomi being threatened might be something. I mean, yeah, she had a falling out with Koyomi, but I'm pretty sure she wouldn't want something bad to happen to her.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what Alhambra, California would be like in the 26th century, but it wasn't too bad when I was living there. I was a little kid then.
I don't know.
I mean,
In the manga, it looks like the land just fell off because it's the new coast.
yes.
It looks like the coastline got washed away or something.
Well, they may have had that earthquake, as a result of that asteroid or whatever it was.
I read over it again, and the whole winter from the asteroid only seemed to end when the vampires or cognates died. Karma.
Oh. Yeah.
And it goes. I recommended that video in one of mine, but it also goes into what I was saying about Excalibur, and that when the land is better, the winter ends and the spring comes.
Mm-hmm.
And there is an Arthur in Gundam, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Melchizedek. That is the material manifestation of Melchizedek, isn't it?
It's his knowledge. It's not his soul, though. So
yeah, that's right. It's kind of like an avatar, I guess, would be what that would be like. Yeah.
Excalibur is out there. It's the other half. Fata Morgana is half of it. Fata Morgana being the half sister of Arthur who had his heir. Now, could it be? I don't know. It may involve actually retrieving Excalibur somehow to destroy the Martian
Isn't
plague.
Excalibur the key embody
It's the
hat
key
that
to
you-
it's the key to letting Melchizedek nuke a planet. Let's just put it that way.
I'm pretty sure that's the one embody had. Kyrula had the Fata Morgana
no,
embody had the
No,
Excalibur.
Melchizedek took it away. He doesn't
Oh.
let the council have it at all. Because it's very Excalibur is taken away. You can't destroy Excalibur. It's in the lake, so to speak.
So what happened to what happened to it, Chaos?
It's embedded in Melchizedek. So I don't know how you get it out. Maybe someone has it in their memories and you like copy it out of their memories or something. I don't want to. I just forget about it. I don't want to touch a dead guy to get his memories. But yeah, there is. Let's just say I realize right now there's someone who can get it out of somebody, out of a computer, out of a dead guy. But I want to just think that no, because the whole story of Excalibur is if you get Excalibur, you're done. You know what happened to Arthur, what happened to Uther, and so on.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys this question about these Alita. There's two Alitas, and the Imaginos Alita, or the Alita that continues the Ghost of Venus after Last Order. She has the memories that this Alita has. Now, this Alita doesn't have all the memories that the Imaginos Alita has. She has some of them, but the other Alita has all of her memories. So the question is, what do you think that's going to set up some kind of conflict in the Imaginos Alita, or the Alita that continues after, it goes on, the other Alita, in the ways of, say, flashbacks or memories or something that of her life or of her time with Figure 4? Because remember that Alita, both of the Alitas are going to love Figure 4, so she's going to remember him, so what's your thoughts about that? Lee, what do you think?
I must apologize because I was making a fix to the chapter and didn't quite hear the question. I'm sorry.
That's okay. The question was, both of these Alitas, the human Alita and the other Alita, both, the other Alita has all the memories that the human Alita has.
And then some.
Yeah, and then some. But this Alita here does not have all the memories that Imaginos Alita has. So the question is, do you think that Imaginos Alita is going to have maybe some memories of Figure 4 that's going to make her sad from time to time? Because remember she loved Figure 4, So is that going to set up some conflict, you think?
I don't know if it'll set up any conflict. I mean, she's got memories of Hugo that still make her sad from time to time. So I think she'll have memories of Figure 4 that'll make her sad from time to time. She will probably end up missing the people she cares about.
Yeah.
Now and again.
Yeah.
But I don't really see it causing any problems per se.
So
unless Kishiro pulls something really underhanded.
I mean, I feel that AR-13 accepts that that's not going to be her. All right. I think it took a while, but I feel that after a couple of years, she accepted that's not her, and that the other Alita is a separate person.
Yeah.
I think they're somewhat similar. That she remembers Figure, but she doesn't see. She slowly stops seeing him as my boyfriend, and more like slowly turns into my boyfriend that I can't be. From my boyfriend that I should go back to my boyfriend I can't be with, to my ex.
Yeah.
I hope he's happy with the girl he's with now, who happens to look a lot like me. But it's like it's a ended relationship that she kind of misses, but she doesn't see it as something that would start again. Just he's her ex that she hopes is happy with whoever he's currently with.
I would beg to differ on one point when you say my ex happy with a girl that kind of looks like me.
And with a girl that I know has a lot of my personality.
No, no, it's not even that. It's that actually the Alita that Figure get with is the original Alita when she had her brain. Like when she had been regenerated in Last Order Nova, she had a brain chip. And the Alita Figure knew was the Alita with a brain. So technically, the real original Alita is with Figure, while the girl who kind of looked like her and other personality is the Alita.
Is the one
we
talking,
follow.
but
Yeah.
that would be very self-deprecating to call yourself the girl who kind of looks like the real version of me. Not saying
Yes,
Alita
at
would at
least.
no point call herself that. She might, but it's not her main way of looking at herself.
Yeah, no, I know. No, I was just
I was
like,
being a little too cynical. More like
I was
she's
Well-
with an old version of me.
I was just highlighting what she said. It's just that like technically Figure is with the original Alita.
Yeah.
Well,
I was too cynical. More like he's with an older version of me.
Well, I think what the other Alita. Now, when I say the other Alita, I don't mean this human Alita. I mean the other one. You know, the imaginary.
Just say
Alita.
Chip
What I'm
Alita or
saying-
Brain Alita.
Well,
Or Imaginos Alita
right.
and human and Flesh Alita. Just
okay.
either-
Well, Chip Alita and Imaginos Alita are the same. But what I'm saying is that version of her is, even though that's not going to be the human Alita that's with Figure, that version of that Chip version of Lita, that version of her is loved Figure 4 a lot. So I would think that she would hope he was happy. That's what I think she would want, you know, even though she would be sad that it's not her, she would want him to be happy. That's just my take.
Yeah.
Do you think so, or do you disagree? It's okay to disagree.
Yeah, I think she would kind of feel bad that she's not the one with him, both because she feels like she's kind of dumping someone else on him, even though she deep down knows that that's the version of Alita he has a better shot with, and that's the version of Alita he really was with. So she kind of feels bad about it, kind of feels good about it, regrets it couldn't be her, but after a few years she gets over it and like accepts that she's not the one who's gonna be with Hugo, and not with Hugo, with Figure.
Yeah, I could see that. You know, she remembered Hugo. She remembered Hugo a long time, but you know, yeah, that's she got over it, didn't she, when she met Figure particularly? So yeah. So yep, I can see that. Well, anything else about these two you got? Anybody can see that would maybe?
Sorry, I just don't know how to answer it. I mean, I know
In
I
other
I
words,
just don't know.
could this be like turn into like a boring sitcom?
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. To outsiders, a normal, happy life is always going to be boring watching other people live it.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
That's why when you look at
But it
romance
depends.
drama,
I kind of like watching Full House because at least they make it funny.
Yeah.
Mhm.
when you look at romantic dramas, there's either a lot of weird shit going on, or if the main attraction is the relationship, it's usually a very toxic relationship because healthy relationships are kind of boring to watch.
Right. I'm just saying with Full House, it's not just the parents; it's also the children. You know that Full House, the old '80s, late '80s, early
Yes.
'90s.
Yes.
Look
Yes.
at just
sitcom.
about
It's
any
about the
anime
parents and the
romance.
kids. It's about everyone in it.
Yeah.
And they even had a time where it was I guess they had Family Matters when it visited them at one episode. I'm trying to remember. I just know that Family Matters with Steve Urkel was in Chicago and Full House was in California.
I don't
Yeah.
see these two having a boring life though, because I could see them, even though she's a human here, I could see them, at times of maybe where they're not, where they don't have so many obligations or tasks to do or something, where they might do something like work out together, say, or spar with each other, because remember, she still knows Panzer Kuntz. She's just not a cyborg. And he knew that what was that version of karate? I can't remember that Figure 4 knew.
Kappa.
Yeah, Yeah, the one that guy taught him or whatever. But anyway, I could see them doing something like sparring with each other and stuff like that. I could see that, I don't see them having a boring life,
I don't know. I just don't know how
Yeah.
to translate it into something.
Yeah, it's a little difficult. I agree.
I mean, my favorite part of Full House as a comedy is probably the kids, and the children having their problems.
Oh, I wonder what kids that these two have. I know, granted, these are not real people, but just put on your thinking caps for a second. These two have 3 kids, kind of like Chaos has got 3 kids. These two get 3 kids. So, hey, I got 3 kids too, Chaos. It's cool.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, of course, my kids are all out of the house. So there you have it. But anyway, what would their kids be like, you think? It might be kind of interesting knowing these two and the experiences they've had. What do you think? Anybody?
I don't know. I just know that I'm trying to figure out what kind of summer camp I'm going to sign up. John, the oldest one.
Well, they don't have too many summer camps in the 26th century. I don't think so. You at least got that now.
Just a daytime thing. So I'll pick them up like it's a school day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. If Figure 4 has surviving family, which there's no indication one way or the other that I've seen, so he very possibly does, she may end up finding herself marrying into a much larger family than she expected.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
We know he doesn't have living parents because his masters complains that they would be disappointed in him that he's marrying a woman who can't have kids. But we don't know if he has any living cousins, uncles. He might.
Yeah, that's mostly what I was referring to.
Likely
Was, the extended family, cousins and whatnot.
Or he might even have siblings. I don't know.
He might have siblings. We just don't know. We just know he doesn't have living parents. But
yeah, I don't know if you could consider Elf, Sex, and Swerf. I don't know if you could consider them kids. They're replicants, I know that, but they're more like siblings, I think, to Alita.
They're annoying younger siblings.
Yeah, that's right. They're younger siblings, but they would be more like little brother and sisters, I think, is what they would be like. Yeah. That's a good point, though. I hadn't thought about that. I think these two, they're kids. I think, first of all, they would, if they were real people, granted, I believe they'd be good parents. I think so. And I think their kids would be very physically oriented in terms of, maybe playing outside or something like that. Of course, I can't imagine in their world that they would have.
Well, maybe, because there is that one time in Ouroboros when Alita was basically sort of a glasses-wearing bookish type.
Yes.
There's the possibility that some aspect of that might be inherited in one of their kids. They may end up having a nerd, basically.
Now, I hadn't considered that. Yeah, that's a possibility. I don't think they got too many libraries in Alhambra at this point. They might. It
could be somebody who's basically more cerebral oriented.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't think Alita is stupid. I think she's.
No, but I mean, somebody who's more into like science or discovery or exploration than combat.
Well, I think she's definitely smarter than Figure 4.
Oh, yeah.
Alita's.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alita's kind of book smart. It just gets overlooked a lot because she's average in that, while she's very, very good at fighting. So some people
she's
can
kind of in the middle because it seems
assume
like
that if she's really amazing at fighting, but she's kind of average general intelligence wise, then not general intelligence.
I feel that quite a number of characters kind of are teaching her basic lore, and that it's Destiny Nova, his son, and Lou at the very least, and Ito, all seem to know a lot more about general history or trivia. Than
Yeah, so she
does.
kind of looks dumb by comparison, but she's not.
No.
She's not.
I'm not.
Well, in
not
that
saying
respect, I
she's-
think she's
average.
also a stand-in for the audience because through her, we're learning about the world around her as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we
she
do
is a
get
cipher.
hints that she's that she has read up on demonology when she makes I'm not sure that's a joke that was in translation, the original, about her selling her soul, and she does get excited about in the Sonic Finger story. She does recognize some older books that she said she was looking for towards reading in the bookshelf of the guy who's inviting her over. The one who later tries to kill her.
Yeah.
So she,
Well,
she's
I
not
agree.
she's not a little stunted in that area.
Yeah, I agree. I think
She's
she's above average in terms of intelligence, and I don't think she's a genius.
I just think
know.
that a lot of the other characters around her, they certainly aren't average either in terms of why they know what they know.
Yeah. Well, probably what would happen, because I think figure 4, he's probably, I mean, not to be brutal here, but I think he's a little below average in intelligence. Not to say he's
you look at these other characters. Like
yeah, that's right.
Lou has been programming advanced computer programming since she was 14 years old.
Yeah.
That's Lou. Like
Yeah.
Lou basically had a college level education when she was only 14. And she's how old now?
Well, they've been breeding the
20
Thefarians for high intelligence too.
early 20s, I guess.
But Lou is above average even for a Tefarian.
Yeah, for a Tefarian. But my point is,
How
I
do we
think
know? Was it confirmed?
My
How
point
do we
is-
know she was programming at 14. Like, what is it somewhere? Is it stated somewhere?
It's back in the early volume 7. Basically, she's supposed to be like what you call like a computer prodigy.
savant, maybe.
Yeah,
I might have read the wrong translation then.
Well, here's my point, though. I think what I was going to go with the kids was I think figure 4 is probably a little bit below average in intelligence. Not to say he's dumb or stupid, but he's below average. I think Alita is above average, and I think maybe
I'd say he's about average. Okay.
Possibly, but my point would be if they had 3 kids, probably one of them would be kind of smart, like Alita, maybe. And the other 2 might be average or something like this. That's kind of what I would think. I could see them having like maybe 2 boys and 1 girl, something like that, or it could be 2 girls and 1 boy. I don't know, but I think one of them would be above average in intelligence, probably significantly so, and the other 2 would be more like their parents, be somewhere between the 2 of them. That's what I would think. Yeah, that's right. Figure 4 is smart in the ways of fighting and fishing for sure, which is, fishing is not, it's, it requires skill. There's no doubt about that. And he's good at that, Yeah, that's right. Alita is smarter than the people that fight her. There's no doubt about that. So.
And you don't necessarily have to be, hang on, let me rephrase. Don't necessarily have to have a high IQ to know about and navigate life.
That's right. That's exactly
IQ
right.
does not determine your IQ. Your IQ test is based on your ability to solve a puzzle. It has zero to do with, it in no way determines, or no way, it doesn't measure your emotional intelligence, how good you are with managing time, how good you are with managing money, how good you are at not losing your car keys. It measures pretty much none of the intelligence that you're actually going to need in daily life. It just measures how good you are at solving puzzles.
Well, I do think figure 4 would be smarter than Alita in some things. I mean, he knows how to fish and she doesn't, that's an example, that was my point though. I think Alita is probably, generally speaking, a little more intelligent than he is. Not to say he's stupid, Anyway, that's my opinion anyhow. So y'all remember that picture that came out some time ago about Grandma Alita? You remember that one?
Grandma Alita.
I think I made the comment that would be more my speed, I guess at one point, But anyway, there was where they had aged her. I guess they had an app. They might have used Face App on that, where they had aged her and made her look like she was like in her 60s. Well, I could see this happening with these guys. I could see them living a long life, and then, growing old together for sure. Now here's one more thing, and then we can start wrapping things up. Do you think Kishiro is going to leave these two alone? Do you think he might have the other Alita come back? And
I think he's focused on the other one now.
I could see something happening. Like, I do feel like there's going to be something from Alita's past, and I'm suspecting Koyomi maybe, that's going to be threatened in some way.
Yeah.
And this Alita, bad guys in Alita always have some kind of leverage. They always do.
Yeah. Well, this Alita right here would know Koyomi. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They'd be friends. So
right.
Yeah.
Technically, Alita's only one planet away as well, so
yeah.
It
but
depends on if Kishiro does a 180.
Then you might realize. But I'm just saying, those guys on Mars, those guys and gals on Mars, they can travel.
Yes. Yes, they can.
And they're gonna play dirty. I know Erica does.
It depends on also depends on the what the necro, whatever they're called, have in plan as well. Yeah.
Well, I can see maybe there's some kind of big fight going on, big rumble on Earth eventually.
Do you think Alita would have that solenoid quench gun? The human Alita?
The solenoid quench gun is like throwing dynamite in the water to go fishing.
Yeah, I was about to say, if she wants to catch the fish,
she
probably won't use that. She wants to explode the fish.
Yeah, then maybe she'll use that gun.
She wants to kill it and make tuna salad at the same time, then she'll probably use the quench gun.
What if they could give her a special type of interface suit where she can do motions in the suit to control a remote AR body that's been...
Oh, so basically chaos, but without the the confusing body plating.
Yeah, kind of. That's what I'm saying. Like, what if she could what if the human one could use telemetry to control with her own motions a remote Alita AR body somewhere else to do the fighting? I'm just saying.
Well, I could see Figure 4 doing the fishing, and I could see Alita doing some farming, or at least have a small garden or something like that. I could see that.
Is she going to have a cat?
Who knows? She might even have a dog. Or they may have a dog, who knows?
Oh, she won't have a butterfly, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that was one of my favorite panels, where that butterfly flies up there and she shoots out the side of this building trying to shoot it. And Figure 4, after she emptied her revolver or whatever it was she had, that gun, and he said, "What the hell was that?" It was funny as heck. And she's holding that gun, pointing it, Oh boy. Yeah, she is bad, man.
Yes.
I don't know how much she can do that, though, in that human body right there, but she certainly has the knowledge to do it. That's for sure. Anyway, the Creek thinks they're going to live happily ever after, and I think Kishiro will leave them alone because he will use the brain chip Alita or the Imaginos Alita from here on. Of course, she's not in the Imaginos body in
yeah,
Mars
she seems to have been
Chronicles.
downgraded somehow.
Yeah, in that
never go into
volume
detail
7.
about it, but yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
My headcanon for why she was downgraded, aside the obvious reason is, of course, that if she was too overpowered, we wouldn't really have a story because she could just punch all her problems out of oblivion. But my headcanon in world for why she got downgraded is that when Venus has their equivalent of a speed limit with how overpowered your body can be. So your random angry neighbor doesn't start running around in a berserker, because imagine multiple thousands of berserkers just running around on the daily. You do not want that. So they have a maximum limit of how overpowered you can be, and she had to downgrade the body to fit that maximum limit of how overpowered she can be.
Well, they probably had the technology to capture her too, more than likely.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And enforce that rule of don't get too overpowered. We can handle capturing 1 or 2 berserkers at a time, but not 50,000. So don't.
Well, she wasn't a berserker though. When she went to Venus, she was an Imaginos. So
that might be worse to them, because like a berserker, but confusing.
Well, what I'm saying though is, be more difficult to capture her in an Imaginos body than it would be in a berserker.
Orders of magnitude more powerful than a berserker.
Yeah, but they still probably if granted that she popped up in Volume 7 of Mars Chronicles in a less powered body, so they probably have the technology to somehow capture her or subdue her in some way, you know. So because you remember that whatever that replicant was that tried to kill Princess Lymira, that looked like Alita. You remember, because when Alita came back, they captured her and said, "Do you try to kill the princess?" And she said, "No, I didn't. That wasn't me," you know. So that kind of thing went on, I guess. So anyway, they got off on that.
No. We'll figure it
All
out.
right, guys. Well, I think we kind of beat this one up quite a bit. I think we kind of talked it all out, I guess.
I would say so.
I included links to the scenes about Figure 4 in the video game, and I was thinking of maybe doing one on how to, and well as film content. So I'll submit those topics to you later as slides.
Okay. All right. Oh, by the way, Chaos, I put together a video and I'm still working on it. Vladi had another suggestion, but we're going to fly that plane around the Oscars in March.
Oh,
and I'm
I'll
when I get
passed it on like I did the other one.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. When I get through with it, I want to give it to you and Turlo Dorman and put it up on the Alita Army channel, on my channel, on just about anybody that wants it. I'll just willingly give it away. And that way we get a wide exposure, of the video.
I need to show you something, because I was thinking of doing that like a parody of Metal Gear Solid, because in the Metal Gear Solid, Snake's commanding officer says, "I need you to go help my niece," and I think you find it funny, Creek. I'll give you the video footage of it.
Okay.
Okay. Doing a parody, because I kind of sound like a snake sometimes, so maybe.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Any last thoughts, Lee?
None that really come to mind. I did want to just let you know I finished up chapter 22. I'll be reposting it to this.
Oh, cool! I can read it then. Cool.
See if it makes any more sense or something.
Yeah, Alita Army. We were just talking about a video that I made. I'm gonna make sure a lot of the folks, YouTubers, get a copy of the video, because we're gonna fly that plane. But anyway, be on the lookout.
Short, I'll show you the intro to Metal Gear Solid, and I think you can make a nice parody of that from that one, using your voice and mine.
Okay. Matu, any last thoughts?
No last thoughts. I think everything has been said, and it's all good.
Okay. Finn, any last thoughts?
I have last thoughts, but not so many. I don't know. It's a good team here with Figure 4 and Alita, and I was so happy for today for this stream.
Cool. Yeah, well, it's good to have you on, Finn.
Yeah.
You need to come on the Radio Chaos stream sometimes too.
Yes, I'm coming. I think I come more weeks. So last week, the next week, I come every time.
Okay. Channel. Go ahead, Go ahead, Finn.
It makes me very fun to come to stream and talking about Alita.
Yeah, we're glad you did. Channel. Any last thoughts?
it would be really funny, but also really shitty if it turned out after Alita got this organic body that she was just genetically infertile.
Oh my God.
It would be too much of a problem. There's other characters that might be.
Well, I am so sure in the 26th century they've got the medical technology to fix that.
I
So,
mean, they could just take
cloning,
she could adopt, or they could take an DNA sample from her and do an IVF or something.
yeah.
I mean, there is the gene organ. Or again, if you're going traditional, just adopt. So there are ways around it, but it would be both so shitty and so funny if it turns out just Alita is.
Yeah,
is
it would be ironic is what it would be.
Huh?
Yeah, it would be ironic. Oh gosh.
Well, like Ego, the
Yeah.
adopted dad, he is
Yeah.
that way. So I don't know.
Yeah.
He figured out a way to live with that.
Yeah. Probably. Chaos, any last thoughts?
No, I just don't. Some things I don't have many answers to. My own life is one of them sometimes.
Okay, all right. Angelus, go ahead. Go ahead, Finn.
Oh, no, sorry. Angelus is first.
No, you go ahead.
I find Alita and Figure 4 is a very good team.
I think so. Yeah, I think they'd be wonderful parents, if they were real people. Yeah. Angelus, any last thoughts about, say, Figure 4 stealing your waifu, even though she's got all that uwu, he stole it from her? Any of those thoughts are along those lines?
Down at the beach, 6 p.m., you and me, gloves on, mate. No.
Uwu, man.
That's right. Uwu. That's right. It's all about uwu. That's right. Our girls definitely got uwu.
Wars have been fought.
Over uwu, yeah. Ask Helen of Troy, right? Anyway. Well, I guess anybody got any topics they want to bring up? I don't know why I put this in there.
Yeah,
I will.
I'll submit you the slides about possible movie related.
Okay.
Topics.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I think we've been going at it for 2 hours, so we may as well kind of move on. Unless somebody's got something they really want to bring up at this point.
Question quick here for watch party tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Yeah, absolutely.
The time is?
The time will be 1 hour earlier than this one. I think it's going to be probably 10 p.m. CET. That's my guess. So, or is it?
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe not. Let me look real quick. Let me just look real quick here. Yeah, it'll be 10 p.m. CET. So.
Okie dokie. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't miss it.
Yeah, don't. That's right. Guys, did we miss anything?
I say we beat the topic with a nice baseball bat.
Okay. Well, as you can see there in that middle panel there, that Alita, she really loves her Uncle Creek. That's for sure, because he wants that sequel, and she wants the sequel, and we all want that sequel. So anyway, we can move on from that. And this is our queen right here. Rosa. She's she brought Alita to life, and she is really a superb actress. I've seen her in several things. And by the way, if anybody has not watched A Million Miles Away, it's a story about a migrant worker that becomes an astronaut. If you have not seen that movie, see the movie. It is great. I really like Michael Pena in that movie. He's really good as well. And Rosa plays his wife. And man, they both really did a superb job. I mean, it was just a really enjoyable movie. And, you get to see our queen in action there as well. So also, I want to give shout outs to Elle Lamont and Jesse Fisher. Sorry about that. That they brought Screwhead to life, and we certainly want Screwhead in the sequel as well, because you know, the way the Creek envisions this is in the Motorball arc. Screwhead is one of the cyborgs that actually joins Alita's team, and basically Screwhead tells Alita, "Hey, you know, I'm, you know, sorry about what happened, and I'm, you know, she recognizes that she was conned, I guess, you know, by Vector and all that stuff, and she's only pissed off about it. So she's, as she put it, you know, let's just burn it all down, because I'm with you, girl." That's what she said, you know, in the interview. And of course, Jessie Fisher is a great stunt person. I mean, she, you know, I've seen her in some other stuff too. Like she was in that movie, that second, I guess, Suicide Squad movie, that beach scene. She was in that one, you know, doing stunts there. So she's superb at what she does. So we want all three of them. Certainly Rosa, we want her back in the Alita sequel. We want Elle and Jessie back too as Screwhead. And they are excellent at what they do in terms of, you know, being actresses and being a stunt person. You know, they are superb. And of course, as I say every week, it sure doesn't hurt that these three are pretty, because they really are, you know. So we got a lot of ooh woo up there too, don't we, Angelus? So there you have it. So anyway, here's what's happening tomorrow. Tomorrow is the Creek's birthday. I'll be 8,964, whatever it is. I can't remember. But anyway, we're going to watch Alita Battle Angel tomorrow. It's going to be a fun stream. And what happens on these streams when we do them is that, you know, Angelus and I and Maxie, and I don't know if I don't remember seeing on the guest sign-up sheet if there's anybody else coming on, but you know, we kind of do a running commentary as it's going on, and some of it gets to be pretty funny and stuff like that. But we have a good time. Certainly, we enjoy watching Alita Battle Angel for sure, you know. But we have a good time talking about it and just watching. I think Lottie might be on if I'm not mistaken, you know, possibly. So anyway, join us on that for that tomorrow. We're going to have a really super duper time. Okay, why is this image here? Well, that image is there because I like it and I'm running the stream. And to paraphrase Gruwishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And of course, all of us in the Alita Army are only here for our girl. So anyway, it's going to be fun tomorrow, and it's going to be fun, you know, fighting for that sequel and that kind of stuff. So we're going to keep doing it. You know, don't get discouraged, anybody. We are going to get that sequel. We're going to keep at it until we get it. Okay.
Damn right.
Yep. Oh,
So, yeah.
Real quick, I just wanted to remind you that the chapters after 22 are all going to be rewritten, so you may not want to bother reading those either.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll hang loose until I'll just read the end of chapter 22 when you get it uploaded, and then I'll wait for you.
Yeah, it's uploaded now. So
okay. All right. So being what it is, I guess it's time to, you know, kind of do the call to action, and that would be on my count of three, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3.
Build
Hey. All right, so we will catch you next week on the Alita live stream. We'll catch you tomorrow on Radio Chaos.
take care, everybody.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita live stream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.